Look around. Everybody's going somewhere. But not everybody's in the same place. Some are sitting beside hope, some beside fear, some beside memory, some beside dreams. And though our bodies ride together, our minds, our hearts travel in completely different directions.
Today I have a special treat for you. The title of this podcast is Same Train, Different Worlds. Peace and welcome to Be Aware of Your Thoughts. Your mind's not a cage, it's a sacred place. This is how manifestation works. Here, on this channel, we remember that our mind is a sacred place. My name is Dr. Cynthia Marie Whitley, and boy, do I have a treat for you. Have you ever sat on a train, looked around, and realized that nobody around you is truly in the same place? Well, this idea was brought to me by Fred Taylor, and I chose to make it into a podcast and to pass on the message, because when he told me about the fact that people are in different places, and can you imagine what they're thinking? I began to imagine what they may be thinking, and I'm passing that on to you. Their minds and bodies may be together, but their minds, their hearts, and memories, are they together? Are they the same? They're all traveling on the same train, but in completely different directions. One person is replaying a painful conversation. Another is imagining a future that hasn't happened yet. Another is silently grieving, and another may be dreaming. And yet, from the outside, everybody simply looked like passengers. But what if humanity has never merely been about physical proximity? What if the real journey has always been about what's happening inside the mind? Think about this. While imagining the people riding the train and what they may be thinking about, there are rows of seats facing one another, people standing, holding poles, scrolling through phones, reading books, staring out of the windows, and suddenly a thought says that no two people are actually sharing the same reality. Not emotionally, not mentally, not spiritually, because every person carries an invisible world inside themselves. Carl Jung once suggested that much of human life happens beneath the surface of awareness, and perhaps that explains why we can sit inches away from one another, another human being, and yet never truly know that universe that exists inside them. One person may appear calm while silently fighting anxiety. Another may look distracted while imagining becoming something greater. Another may smile while carrying heartbreak. Same train, different worlds. The body may be physically present But the mind travels instantly. It moves through memory, fear, hope, regret, fantasy, impossibility, or possibility, all within seconds. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is not merely fantasy, but the creative power of consciousness itself. So while the train moves through tunnels, or up like the L train up above, people's minds are moving through childhood memories, future ambitions, hidden fears, conversations that never happened, and lives they secretly wish to live. Which means, I have to stop here for a second because a train is riding by. I live by the A train, where it's up above the L, like elevated. Most humans beings are not reacting to life alone. They are reacting to the world within themselves. Now, this is where it becomes deeply important because we often assume physical closeness equals emotional connection, but not all the time. Families sit together, yet mentally live in different worlds. Couples sleep beside one another, yet emotionally feel miles apart. Co-workers stand together daily, yet carry completely different inner realities. And perhaps this is why so many people feel unseen. Not because people hate them, but because very few people are taught to truly see beyond appearances. Everyone is carrying invisible pain, invisible dreams, invisible fears, invisible prayers, invisible joys. And many of us are silently asking, does anyone see what I'm carrying? Now, here is where be aware of your thoughts become powerful. Because our thoughts do not simply stay inside our minds. They create emotional atmospheres. You can feel when someone enters a room anxious, hopeful, angry, peaceful, heavy, or inspired. Why? Because consciousness radiates. Frequency radiates. Emotions radiate. The worlds inside us eventually express themselves outside us. And this means if we do not become aware of our inner world, they may unconsciously live inside emotional prisons we never intended to create. But there is beauty hidden in this realization. Because once we understand that everyone carries an unseen world, we become softer, kinder, more compassionate, more patient. We stop assuming. We stop judging appearances. We begin understanding. The stranger on the train may be fighting a battle we cannot see. The woman staring out the window may be rebuilding her life. The young man on the phone may be searching for hope. The elder quietly reading may be trying to heal memories decades old. And suddenly, humanity becomes sacred again. So perhaps the greatest journey in life is not the one happening outside of us. Perhaps the greatest journey is learning to understand the world within ourselves, to become aware of our thoughts, our emotional patterns, our inner conversations, our inner fears, and our silent dreams. Because wherever the mind goes, eventually life follows. So the next time you ride a train, sit in a waiting room, walk through a city, or pass strangers on the street, remember this. Every person you see is carrying an invisible universe. Every face contains memories. Every heart contains longing. Every mind traveling somewhere unseen. And though we may be physically close, we are all traveling through different worlds inside. The question is not merely, where are you going? The deeper question is, what world are you living in within yourself? So peace. And remember, a mind is not a cage. It's a sacred place. Remember. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your thoughts are powerful. Be aware of them because they become your life. So until next time we meet, remember to be touched, moved, and inspired by your life and the life of others. Have compassion. Dr. Cynthia Marie Whitley, signing off.